Only 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Hurry, hurry! Reserve time.
Hello everyone, welcome to the JoinDota MLG Pro League Season 2. This is the lower bracket grand finals, a best of 3 between London Conspiracy and Vega. Vega, the heavy favorites coming into this game. Odds are 80-20 that they'll take it, so we'll have to see if they can pull that off. London Conspiracy have had some big wins recently. They won against NIP just the other day, so we'll see if they can upset some bettors, make them lose their Bugattis, and so far it's interesting bans coming up from Vega. I've not seen a Beastmaster ban in a while. I'm interested to see if that's something that they know London Conspiracy play a lot. I'm not super familiar with either of these teams, unfortunately. The Undying Wisp ban for London Conspiracy, much more common, and the Quap ban for Vega as well, more of a common pick. So with that said, Vega are going to have the first pick, and we'll see what kind of strategy they're looking for here. This is the first game of a best of 3, so they don't have to feel quite as nervous as the best of ones so far have been, and they may want to just try something a little funky, throw London Conspiracy off their groove and hit them with something unexpected. These teams have played together a number of times and should be reasonably familiar with each other's playstyles, and it's a first pick Chen. So this has been played to great effect ever since this patch. Puppy has been doing wonders with it. It was used and banned very, very heavily in the Summit 3 that just ended. So it's fairly standard first pick this patch. We'll see if London Conspiracy can contest it. Maybe send someone into the jungle early, run an aggressive tri-lane. Chen is on the Radiant side, so London Conspiracy may look at trying to limit what he can get done early. And they've got lots of time to think about it. First pick Invoker. Okay. So this gives Vega plenty of time to deal with that, although we won't be quite sure whether that's going to be Exort or Quaswex. I haven't actually seen an Exort Invoker in some time now, so I'm going to assume it's Quaswex, and I'm also going to assume it's mid, although they could run it a safe lane as well. And there's the Earthshaker follow-up. If he is mid, that'll protect him from Chen ganks early, maybe, with the Fisher to disrupt things. And a Dragon Knight follow-up from Vega, so emphasis on pushing very, very clearly from Vega here. You got your Dragon Knight. As soon as he hits level 6, he and Chen should be able to take a tower fairly easily. So we'll have to see if London Conspiracy can pull out some D-push here. Invoker, if he goes Quaswex, the Tornado EMP combo can shut a push down quite readily. The Fisher also fairly good at D-push, but we'll want to see if they choose to emphasize that a little bit more. Broodmother, the ban for Vega, with a Darkseer ban for LC. I think the Brood ban is really, really solid here. Vega, if they are wanting to push towers, the last thing they want is a Brood in their safe lane, counter-pushing them, and basically anytime they group up to push, Brood can be across the map pushing on her own. So want to avoid the split push potentially coming out from London Conspiracy. A good choice. And the Darkseer pick, just another good D-pusher with the Ion Shell, a way of trying to keep Vega away from those tier 1 towers early. Also one of the strongest offlaners that we've seen this patch so far. He's been getting a lot of priority, was picked up and banned a lot in the Summit as well. So, doing their homework are these chaps. A Gyrocopter ban next, another very, very strong carry this patch. He did, or is getting a little nerf in 6.84C, but it's a very minor one to Rocket Barrage. Just a little bit of less damage. Still a very, very viable hero. And a great combo with that pushing lineup. He's a carry that can fight very, very early with the high damage from Call Down and Rocket Barrage. So
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
We'll see if Vega want to go all in with this kind of strategy, or if they want to branch out a little bit, Dragon Knight and Chen can push quite well on their own, and they can maybe pick up some other heroes to secure their late game more, make sure their eggs aren't all in one basket. London Conspiracy. We'll see if, like, the first pick Invoker is unusual enough that I'm wondering if that's maybe a strategy they had planned, and whether the Chen Dragon Knight will cause them to veer away from whatever they were hoping to do, or whether they've got something in mind for this. They're thinking fairly hard about their last ban here, burning into a fair bit of reserve time. Both teams fairly wide open. Rubik ban. So they don't want to deal with the gank potential with Chen creeps. They'll lift into Chen Centaur Stomp or something like that. It can be a very good partner with Chen in the early game to control the lanes and make sure that Vega have a great start in London Conspiracy on the back foot from the beginning. And it'll be a clockwork from LC for the off lane, guaranteeing them that Earthshaker will be a support and not that off lane that we've seen sometimes. And another incredibly common and strong hero in this patch, great for disrupting the Chen Dragon Knight push, get in there with the cogs, push the creeps away, burn all their mana, and a good way of initiating. So Clockwork can jump in and give a target for Invoker to place all those spells down on.
10 seconds to pick.
Very, very solid in this patch in general is Clockwork, and one of my personal favorite heroes, so good to see him here.
Reserve time.
Yeah, we'll see have a better idea of what Vega's planning here, whether they're going to be more focused. Okay, so a Bane.
Dire team are now picking.
That is an interesting combo. I mean, it'll let the Dragon Knight catch up for a stun and a Breathe Fire maybe. Instant almost Phantom Lancer pickup. And this is a good carry to have against Bane. Bane will not know which Lancer to put his Nightmare on, so great way of dealing with that. And a hero that's going to be off in the side lane, safe lane, pushing on his own, while Chen and Dragon Knight are trying to do their thing. So he does take a little longer to come online, so it's a bit risky, but he does match up fairly well versus Dragon Knight in the late game. Dragon Knight being reasonably mana dependent, and Phantom Lancer probably going to be rushing that Diffusal Blade in all likelihood. Actually, combined with the Invoker, if he does go Quaswex, that's a lot of mana loss. And Vega will go for a Bristle follow-up. Another hero that Phantom Lancer can match up against well, although the AoE from the Quill Spray can deal with the illusions as well. So I feel like neither of these heroes really like each other, but they'll both be reasonably content. It'll probably be a Bristleback offlane against the Phantom Lancer, and it'll be whichever support that LC wants to pick up last, and then the Invoker probably with the Earthshaker roaming. Bristleback should have an okay lane here. I guess it all depends on what this last support is, whether it's going to be an aggressive or a defensive one. Spiritbreaker ban is really solid. Gives them a way to jump on the Invoker, jump on the Phantom Lancer before they have time to get their defensive abilities off, and there's great follow-up to a charge from Dragon Knight with a Shadow Blade maybe, Bane Nightmare into Ultimate.
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
Something they just don't want to face. And Vega is a very aggressive team, so they could use a Spirit Breaker very, very well. Ancient Apparition will be your final ban, and it's an almost immediate Witch Doctor pick. I do like the AA ban here because Chen is reliant on his heals, and Dragon Knight on his health regen, so a good ban. But the Witch Doctor will... another hero that can disrupt the push quite well, has really good D-push with his ultimate ability, and good sustain with the heal. So, solid length. I think the Witch Doctor should have a decent time bullying Bristleback. Bristleback isn't going to have the easiest time in this off lane against the Spirit Lance spam from Phantom Lancer and the Witch Doctor casual harass as well.
Reserve time.
Vega looking to pick up their safe laner, most likely. We haven't really seen Dragon Knight run in the safe lane in this patch, so I'm fairly certain he's going to be mid. What could they go for here? They probably want someone with a bit of AoE to deal with the Phantom Lancer. And a BKB carrier, obviously, up against the Invoker. Luna could be good here. With those bouncing Moonglaives. She does take a long time to get online, and she is fairly weak in lane. But the Clockwork isn't going to be a super aggressive off-laner. And with the Bane support and the Chen able to rotate in, the Luna could be a very solid safe laner for them here.
5 seconds remain.
It would go well with their push strat as well. They'll go for Slardar, so more jump. That ultimate ability, really good at bursting down anyone in combination with Dragon Knight. Of course, the problem with this hero is that if he gets shut down early, he's going to have a rough time. Not the best, in fact, one of the worst heroes at coming back. Oh, and it's Pasha playing the Slardar, so is this going to be an off-lane Slardar, safe lane Bristle? We have seen Bristle run a lot more in the safe lane recently. So that could be good, but I'm not sure how viable Slardar as an offlaner is. I mean, he really needs his levels and at least Blink before he can do almost anything. So I think... No, it's going to be... Oh, of course, yeah, Pasha does play their safe laner, and it'll be Mag in the offlane Bristle. My bad. I was remembering last game Vega had Pasha on the Centaur, who in my mind is an offlane hero, but he was played in the safe lane. So everything makes sense. We'll start off with a nice little pause, just to get us all warmed up, ready for the game. And while we've got a bit of a break, let's introduce our teams on your dire side. For the support Witch Doctor, it'll be... No. Directed camera, no thank you. Sorry about that. We've got S224J. I have no idea who that is on the Witch Doctor. You've got Spartan on your support Earthshaker. Kaiser playing the Invoker, probably mid. And you'll have... I shouldn't have done this team. I can't actually see any of them. There we go. Skylark on your offlane Clockwork, and Madara playing your safe lane Phantom Lancer. On the Radiant side, Mag will be taking that Bristleback into the offlane. Solo farming up the jungle on his support Chen. Steam of the Slayer on the Bane, supporting in the safe lane. That'll be Pasha on his Slardar. And finally, yet to hop into the game will be your Dragon Knight, going into the mid lane. And I wonder if he's had some connection issues or something. He hasn't loaded in, hasn't picked his hero yet. He may have DC'd. So, waiting to go. Some very, very pretty artwork coming out on the minimap. Maybe something a little impressionistic. Is it an egg? Is it a soul? I don't know. Beautiful. So, I was a really big fan of Vega's draft up until the Slardar. Honestly, I don't know what the Slardar is going to be able to get done this game. And it'll all depend on the early rotations of the Chen creeps and how well Bane can protect him in lane. Clockwork, great at dealing with melee cores. So it really depends on whether LC can get into Vega's jungle and block it up early, block a couple camps, give Chen a hard time. They don't really have great heroes for going in there and messing with him. No Bounty Hunter. Although Clockwork can do that a little bit, but he does have to be careful from the stuns from Slardar. So I think the first 3 or 4 minutes of this game will give us a really good sense of what's going to happen. If LC can contest the Chen, stop him from getting off to the start that he wants. Heart issues. Like, is he having a heart attack? Really nervous about this first game of this best of 3 in the lower bracket grand final? That's unnerving. We'll see. Sorry, as I was saying, so yeah, the first few minutes of this game are going to give us a really good sense of how it's going to go, I think. So if Chen gets harassed, blocked up, doesn't get to have his A game, then I think LC will be able to harass the Slardar quite heavily, keep him from getting off to the start he wants. Of course, if the Chen doesn't get stopped and gets off to a great early game, then he can throw some creeps into the lane, ensure that Slardar has great time farming, harass the Clockwork back, and if Slardar gets the space, and if he gets the farm, I do like their team quite a lot. That detection, if Invoker is going Quas Wex, will be really great to catch him out in the Ghost Walk. And they do have just a ton of burst damage between the Slaughter and the Dragon Knight. With that amplify damage on, the Dragon Knight hits extremely hard. So we'll have to see how this early game goes. Bane up against the Clockwork. May do okay. Clockwork struggles against Bane. Bane is a great laner to have here. So now I'm talking myself into favoring this Vega draft a little bit more. But of course, if LC still have towers at the 30-minute mark, then I think LC will win. Because Vega don't have a whole lot for the late game Phantom Lancer. So it all depends. It depends on the play, depends on how the first few minutes go. I don't think either team has necessarily outdrafted the other. I do feel that both drafts are fairly even, so we'll have to see what they can do, other than pretty drawings. Although they are very good at that as well. No big changes to any of these heroes in 6.84c, although of course it hasn't actually launched yet, just thinking ahead. Mag, the Bristleback, has had his base attack time reduced slightly. For some reason, I'm not sure that hero was worthy of a nerf, but a nice frog we trust, I suppose. And does anyone else get any changes? No, I don't think so. So the Dragon Knight left untouched. He was looking very, very strong early in the Summit 3 and in the last month or so, but he is, of course, as teams remember how to play against him, he's been out of the meta for a long time. So as teams remember how to play against him again, he can be countered a little harder, and we didn't see him having a whole lot of success in the last few games of the Summit 3. Which is, I'm just going off that because that's the most recent LAN that we've seen. And I think over the course of that tournament... Oh, looks like we might be good to go. Finally, alright. So, we've got no one on the Dragon Knight going mid in the game. He's successful, no heart attacks from him. That's great. And yeah, it is Pasha going into the safe lane, with Seema supporting him. And I'll... looks like LC might be going for smoke play into the Radiant jungle. I really like this. They want to mess with the Chen. They want to ruin his day. Of course, the Radiant are anticipating this. They're already moving into that area. There may be a clash here at level 1. No one's leveled anything up yet. Seema retreating into under his tower. There's a Fisher coming out, but they won't catch him. LC moving through. They're going to block some camps and then get out, I imagine, secure this ward. That's an unusual place, but it's... Oh, okay, that's Earthshaker pinging. We'll see if they can deward it. There's only one ward place, surprisingly. The Witch Doctor had 2 sentries on him, and he didn't end up placing any of them. So Chen is maybe... I'm not even sure what camp this blocks. We'll have to see when the creeps spawn. I've not really seen that placement before. It may just be for vision, honestly. Now, instant D-ward, so they saw it go down. And no problem to clean that up. So an easy 50 gold. And with that said, 1 bounty rune apiece for each side. Madara getting scouted out by this ward, so Mag should have a reasonable time here, able to see those rotations coming in. And we are afoot. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is Vega versus LC, London Conspiracy, in your lower bracket final for the MLG Pro League Season 2. Fisher block coming in onto no one, maybe, if he can decide to throw it. There it is. Still missed on the wrong side. Fortunate for that. Would have been a nice block if he got it. So yeah, this is a best of 3. I'm Sindar. I'm an amateur caster, just doing this for fun. So thanks for joining me. And already, missing the first blood. Bristleback goes down in the off lane. Nice rotation from Witch Doctor here. Level 1 Maledict, interestingly enough. And Madara takes that down. Meanwhile, no one is a little trapped here, but there's no support coming in from the Invoker, so he should be fine. And the Earthshaker rotating back up lane. He must have been involved in the first blood, maybe? No, I don't think so. I'm surprised Bristleback went down there, honestly. I did not see that coming. Skylark into the Radiant Jungle, trying to contest here. Chen is... Oh, he's got a Wild Wing early, so that'll be really good for him. He should be having a fine time. And Seema able to harass back. In fact, he may be in trouble. Here comes the stun, and he's dead. He's not going to be able to get away from that, so easy kill. Offlane for offlane across the map. And Pasha will be really happy with that, although it was Seema the Slayer that got the last hit. Maybe should have thought about giving it to a Slardar, but early level 6 on him will be just fine. So lots of action so far. Kill a minute. That's what we like to see. And no one already has his bottle out. He's going for the bottom rune. And it hasn't been claimed yet, so he'll be quite happy with that. Skylark, has gotten decent amounts of levels, almost at level 3. On the off lane, the Bristleback has a haste rune and is a little further behind, only level 2.5, but he's doing okay here. 1 CS to Clockwork's 3, really nothing to say between the two of them here. Pasha kind of trapped in, getting beat on by the creeps a little bit here, but no real risk of a death at this point. I say that, although I didn't think Bristleback would die either, but so far. Mid lane, it's kind of a wash so far. The Dragon Knight Invoker going about equal in last hits, and it is that Quaswex Invoker that we talked about coming out from LC. So giving them that control, that D-push. Really solid decision, especially with Phantom Lancer to dish out the damage. I like that choice. Meg getting gone on here again. Maledict comes out, and he's taking quite a bit of damage. Will he tick down to this? I think he will. He's trapped in the tree line. Madara, though, doppelgangs to dodge the tower hits, so he'll be okay. Another nice kill on the Bristleback offlane. And I wasn't expecting the Bristleback to have this much of a hard time, but Witch Doctor doing a lot of work here and enabling Madara to just basically have a free farm lane. He's 20 versus the Slardar's 14, so he's having a grand old time in that safe lane, and a farmed Phantom Lancer is not what Vega want to see this game. Of course, they do have a reasonable amount of catch for him, but we'll have to see. I wouldn't say that this game has been completely changed by those two Bristleback kills, but it is certainly nice. And Clockwork doing okay, although as I say that, he's going down now, trapped by Pasha with the stun, and Seema will take the last hit again. Greedy bugger. And he's already got his Arcane Boots up, so that's really great for him, and Pasha will certainly be able to use the mana. Continue bringing that harass. So far both offlaners, the only ones to die here, and honestly I think that favors the Clockwork a little bit. He needs less. Bristleback can really fall off, especially if Phantom Lancer... Oh, Phantom Lancer isn't going to go for Silver Edge, so never mind that. There isn't really a good Silver Edge carrier. I was going to say if Dragon Knight was on the other team, but... looks like Spartan is looking for setup on no one here, but he's at full health and he's really tanky. He's already hit his 6, and we'll have to see. Chen hasn't really been rotating any of his creeps so far. I mean, it's only 5 minutes in, but he's been just farming up. He's the last hit leader on his team, and just focusing on getting those levels and gold up, maybe rushing the early mech for his team, as opposed to ganking in the lane early. To be fair though, with those 2 kills, Pasha is doing just fine, and hasn't needed the help as much as I thought he would. The Bane, a great defensive support choice here, defensive in that he's harassing Clockwork out, so that Pasha isn't really in any danger. And although Clockwork normally does well against a melee, Bane is just too strong in this stage of the game, and he's got to play really carefully. Going on Kaiser in the mid lane, but no one gets cold snapped, and Kaiser will be just fine. Here comes the Earthshaker from the back line, maybe looking to trap him in, but Kaiser is very, very low health. Here comes the TP. The Fisher block isn't going to come out. Very poor block, but no one's still going to lose all his mana. Madara TP's in actually from the top lane, and this should be an easy kill for him. They do. The tornado is just short, and he may get away here. That Fisher block was not the best. And Seema comes in, Nightmare onto Spartan, and he's going to fall. So another kill for Vega on Seema the Slayer, just cleaning up across the map. He's almost level 6 at 6 minutes. That's an absolutely great experience for your support, Bane. He's going to be very happy with that, and with that early ultimate coming out, the Fiend's Grip, LC have to be a little bit worried now. The disparity in levels is showing up here. Earthshaker, only level 2, and the Bristleback isn't doing so great himself, but the rest of his team is all right up there, 2 levels ahead of most of LC. And here comes the push. Chen's rotated his creeps in. Pasha's pushing up to the tower here, and Clockwork is here, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to defend. He's only got those 2 layers in, 2 points in battery assault, 1 in the rocket, and the Fortify comes out right away. This should go down. It looks like they went on no one again, but no luck. He's just too tanky, and jump in onto Skylark. He's going to go down. Nightmare sets up Pasha, coming in with the stun. That's an easy kill. He's just not respecting the rotations here. And the tower is taking a lot of damage now. There are 2 heroes rotating in under smoke. They get scouted out from the high ground, though. Pasha sees them, and with that, they'll have to back off. Witch Doctor goes for the deny, but can't find it. Solo will take that last hit with the Chen. And first tower down, 8 minutes in. Exactly what Vega are looking for here in your early game. So that said, Phantom Lancer is still doing well. He's top of the net worth, but the problem is that he needs a lot more time than these Radiant heroes do, and they're smoking mid now, looking to go. No one's in trouble, but the rest of the team has shown up. Pasha gets the stun onto Earthshaker, he falls. Now Witch Doctor's going to be next. Net from the Chen, followed by the Centaur Stomp, and they're going to transition this into another tower push instantly. 3 dead, and the Dragon Knight ultimate form already popped. Oh my goodness. Slaughter has his Blink Dagger. This early game couldn't be going more according to plan for Vega. Blink, stun onto Spartan, he takes tons of damage, follow-up stun from no one, and TP instantly cancelled. Phantom Lancer thought about coming in, but is really glad he didn't, and instead he'll go for a counter push. But TP coming in, Pasha misses the stun, doppelgang away from Madara, but he does have the ultimate on him now. He can't hide. They know where he is, and they're chasing. Spirit Lance misses his stun, and that'll be the end of that. Pasha has to back. Nice play from your Phantom Lancer. But 2 towers down before the 10-minute mark, with Slaughter with already having his blink. He is doing just fine. He's second in net worth, ahead of the Phantom Lancer now. And everything is coming up Vega. And they're rapidly losing map control on the side of LC. You can see the Radiant have these nice wards here, scouting out the movements, any movements out of the jungle into the river. And with the tier 1s down, they can actually do Roche fairly easily with the Chen creeps and the Dragon Knight corrosive breath from his ultimate form. With those access points cut off on the side of the Dire, Vega are just going to continue rolling these tier 1 towers. No one pops his ultimate form, and there are multiple heroes from each team, all 5 from LC coming up here, and the last 5th of Vega moving up as well, so this could be a big clash. Spartan looking for his Fisher block, hasn't found it yet, and this tower's at half health. Clockwork looking to come in from the side with a hook shot. He is scouting with his rocket. Chen creeps breaking things up, and they've spotted the Clockwork here. LC are just unable to get it. There's the jump from your Dire side, or from your Radiant side. Tornado throws everyone up, but they're not going to be able to do anything with it. The tower has fallen. Spartan taking tons of damage and will go down to the last hits of no one. Yep, there it is. And that's a 2-for-0 with the tower going down and all of LC rotating there. They were doing nothing that entire time. So 3 towers down, 10-3, 11 minutes in. Dare we look at the gold graph? It's almost a 10k lead for Vega already, and this game may be more or less over at this point. Of course, LC can still come back if they get a good team fight, but that's going to be hard to do, especially with Pasha acting as the gatekeeper here, forcing London Conspiracy back as Vega continue pressuring onto this tier 2 tower. And they're going to get it post-haste. Top 3 on net worth all belong to the side of Vega now. And another tower down. Kaiser just has not come online yet, and neither has your Phantom Lancer. And normally, oh, misses the tornado. He is in serious trouble being completely surrounded. He was very far out. I'm not sure what he thought he could do there. And will fall. Seamoth Slayer on a mega kill streak. 5-0-3 on the support Bane. He's had just a fantastic time. And they'll rotate immediately into the Roche pit with Amplify damage up. And all the tier 1s down. LC have no way to contest this, even if they wanted to. Even if they had the hero strength to do so, they can't get in there. Madara, hiding in the trees by the tier 1 tower. He's got Boots of Travel up, realizing that he has to split push to victory if he wants to take it at all. But that means his damage, for 4,800 gold, his damage is just abysmal. And he will catch, or get caught by Pasha here. Goes into the trees with Doppelgang and will be able to TP away. But, I mean, I understand why he went the Boots of Travel. He kind of feels he has to. But at the same time, if he's going that kind of item, LC have basically admitted they can't fight for the next 15 to 20 minutes. And I don't think they have that luxury. No one gets a solo kill on your Earthshaker, who's fed like crazy this game. He's 5 of their deaths. Really having a hard time getting his abilities off from a safe position. And, well, now a smoke, or is that a, no, Shadow Blade up on your Dragon Knight. So, looking for targets here. Gets scouted by the Clockwork, but they can't really do anything. He's got 1,300 health, and the Aegis as well. And they definitely don't want to go on that. Vega grouping up in this bottom lane for your tier 2 tower push, and they should get it fairly easily. Tornado comes out, EMP to follow, but where's the rest of the damage? Hand of God. And Dragon Knight's here now. His ult is on 7-second cooldown, but he doesn't even need to pop it to take this. He might want to save it for high ground, which they definitely can do with the Aegis up for another couple of minutes yet. This tower will take a spill, and yeah, they're not going to slow down. They know how strong they are, they know how far ahead they are. With those Boots of Travel up on Phantom Lancer, they know he can't do anything. He's trying to push a tier 1 while his base is getting invaded, and he has to. No one loses all his mana, but he's not too worried. There are mana boots on the side of Vega. He's going to go back in. Nice Fisher block. Does a lot of damage to these creeps. And Phantom Lancer is back now. But I'm not sure they have enough D-push. It's just too early. Their team wasn't ready for the earliness of Vega's ability to push here. And it's really costing them. Desperately trying to hold this high ground. No one is even going to dodge the EMP. And now he's got a DD popped and looking for kills now, not buildings. Look at how fast Spartan goes down. That's disgusting. He does get stunned up by the cask, but he's not worried. He does have the Aegis and the Clockwork Hook into Bristleback. That's not really the hero you want to go on, Skylark. He's falling almost instantly. Vega, no one is taking a lot of damage, but remember, he is holding the Aegis, and now 3 heroes trapped up. There's the Fiend's Grip onto Kaiser. Madara is taking tons of damage. The Aegis is popped, but there's 5 Vega heroes still in this base, and only 3 London Conspiracy heroes. No one at full health. We'll just clean up these barracks, and I wouldn't be surprised to see LC call the GG any minute now. There's nothing really they can do. Spartan looking for a block. Not sure what that is designed to do. Just desperately trying to force Vega back, but there it is. Good game, well played. 16 minutes in. Your gold lead for Vega was over 15,000. So extremely well executed from Vega. They knew what they wanted to get done, and I'm surprised that, like, the Chen was the first pick. I'm surprised London Conspiracy didn't try and mess with it a little bit more. They went into the jungle with all those wards, didn't even block a camp. The one ward they placed got cleaned up immediately. And so Chen was able to do whatever he wanted, and he got that timing, he got his mech, Dragon Knight got his 6, and, like, Dragon Knight only had a Shadow Blade boots at the end of that game. But because they hit their timings, LC wasn't able to contest, and, I mean, the Chen Dragon Knight was the first 2 picks. I kind of assumed that LC had a plan for dealing with that early push, with their draft, but they just didn't execute it the way I expected them to. Not putting any pressure on the safe lane, of Vega, not putting any pressure on the Chen, and as a result, I mean, they killed the Bristleback 3 times, but he is the least important part of Vega's plan. He's the only one who died, and he didn't care. The rest of his team got what they needed, and shutting down the Bristleback doesn't really do that much for you. So with that said, Vega will take a quick game 1. This is a best of 3, so we'll have to see if LC can come back in the second game, maybe shake up their picks a little bit, clean things up, and try and take this to a game 3. So we'll be back in just a few minutes for the next game. I'm Sindar. Thank you for joining me on this amateur cast of JoinDota MLG Pro League Season 2. This is your lower bracket best of 3 finals, and we'll see you in a few minutes.